What's going on? Welcome. Right now, I'm just doing some Lord of the Rings inspired meditative, meditative sound journey. Great to see you as well, or hear from you. Right now, I'm sort of using my Vox amp. My secondary amp is actually my older amp, and I'm using the reverberation. Really love the way it sort of stretches out the pred that you hear. It's interesting. It almost makes it like sort of like a gong. How's life been with you creatively, Nana? Well, thank you. It's been good. Yeah, it's been a very, very interesting week. I would say. In essence, I actually was on a film shoot for a Facebook commercial, which I've recently been getting into, and yeah, it was the wildest experience. Like legitimately, it was essentially a 13-hour day, followed by a 14-hour day. But yeah, for me, basically, I spend a lot of time basically just playing music for people, like hanging out and holding, kind of learning, hanging out with actors and just like playing music and pan flute and stuff. And yeah, it was actually such a, I'd say almost like a spiritual experience, especially being in those long days. And yeah, in the simplest ride, it was actually so deeply inspiring. It's just so deeply inspiring being around all these actors and kind of just like being away from reality. It was almost like time just stopped for this period of 48 hours. It was literally like from the 13-hour shoot, went to sleep, got 5 hours of sleep, did a 14-hour shoot. It was like I felt like time was not real, but all that was present was just being there, with your fellow actors. Just a community of people, like a massive community of artists, all just coping and, just kind of holding space for each other. It's very special. A lot of beautiful conversations too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my amp to my less reverberated amp. Maybe even hop back and forth between that. Just to have a little more clarity on what I'm playing here. So let's see how this sounds. Such an interesting contrast, I find. This is like here we have my Black Star amp. It's almost like I feel I could even just I see what I do there. Human connection. Yeah, that's exactly, it's interesting you say that because I found it was almost like the 13-hour the first 13-hour shift was honestly challenging. As like hour 9-10 approached, I found my energetic threshold to receive people was being greatly tested, where I was just like, man, being around all these characters and these intense energies, I could genuinely feel myself beginning to sort of stray from a very rooted place. Like it was very apparent. It was for a good reason, because I also knew that I was only get 5 hours sleep, and then I was gonna have to get up and do another long day. But I found the entire experience, it kind of humbled me, where it was like I recognized, for one, how resilient I felt like I could be, and just how just allowing myself to just adapt and direct all my energy into being present. What happened was very simply, I rested, woke up the next day, and felt extraordinary. Like not perfect, but I felt like I was really able to just successfully root myself in my own energy, and then also hold space for other people. And the second day happened to just be the most extraordinary day. It was almost like holding space for people, like experiencing all these humans. It tested me, like it pushed me on my comfort zone, where it made me feel like my own projections of my own maybe insecurities or inadequacies came to light. But then in the second 14-hour day, I was able to conquer all that. Like I was able to be present with that. call this amp hopping. Interesting. So it's here. Yeah, it was honestly, by the end of this experience, I literally felt like it just like opened up my entire perspective of basically the film industry and this kind of style of work in such a very, very interesting way. It's cool too because I found after this 2 day film shoot, I literally part of what I was reflecting on was just what I really wanted to invest in. Just be it energetically and just like physically, but also financially. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna leave this shoot after these 2 crazy film days and buy myself an RC loop station, and that's been on my mind a lot. Where I just can't wait to just create really dope loops. It's been on my mind. Definitely feel like there's such beautiful amounts of creativity that can be unlocked with this loop station. So this will be very interesting. Even just doing like vocal harmonies very seamlessly. Or pan flute harmonies. what's even interesting I find with this sort of setup is I can actually say, aim my pan flute. Let's see how this works. Sort of works. I almost feel like it kind of takes away from the attack organically flowing through. I'm noticing right now just how using this sort of enhanced it's enhanced reverb on this amp setting makes doing double makes just like executing one-handed legatos and tapping really easy, which is usually just not the case. And then it makes it so I can do pan flute at the same time. And even actually, as I was trying to experiment with, I feel what I can do this successfully. Say if I take my guitar, let's see how this sounds if I kind of direct this. Yes, actually this gives me a great idea. Alright, I got a great idea here that I'm going to play around with. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my guitar stand, place it up here so I can have my guitar, and I can dial pan flute through the guitar, to the sound hole, to the sound of tone wood amp, through the amp, and create a really good sound. Basically be using effects on my pan flute. Let's see how this goes. Just gotta kind of move around some of the stuff off my studio desk. This will, yeah, we are. So many books. Okay, I think we got this figured out. So if I just like... There we go. Perfect. All right. Let me know how that sounds. I'm not sure if the pan flute. I'll have to sort of listen back on it. Feels like the audio is not fully sort of flowing through. That's okay. see if I can include this backtrack here. Different sort of energy. Different dimension. Most interactions feel like doing that much of an effort. Hey, that's amazing. Hearing you experiment, talk, that's really cool, man. I really appreciate that feedback. I've gotten that actually a couple times where, yeah, I don't know, it's just like, yeah. It's kind of just like I'm just jamming. Like I'm literally, majority of the time, I mean, sometimes I take some time to warm up or kind of like structure some things, but a lot of it's just pure improv. Like I'm here just improvising. Like there's no script, no thoughts. And sort of my intention is always just to create a meditative experience as much as humanly possible for myself and for this experience. And sometimes I'll say some words, say some sort of like good intention, but majority of the time it's just kind of, yeah, I'm just flowing. And I find it's really interesting too, to see the way that certain people show up. It's kind of like people in different phases or different realms of their creative journey, or just guitarists that are maybe just trying to, hear some different sort of sounds. Half the time I don't even know. It's funny. Half the time I'll just be like, I'm just gonna go live and see what happens. Like I don't even know exactly what to expect or just like what I'm gonna do. I have a good idea. I find integrating the drums a very unique experience that I can't really hone. Can you play one of your favorite beats? One of my favorite beats? Like one of my favorite songs, or what do you mean, like a drum beat? I'm gonna assume you mean my favorite beat. So I guess we'll go for kind of like this kind of 3/4. I think it's a signature where it's like slow. To add a little bit more predative. Yeah, I hope you guys are having an awesome day so far. Allowing yourself to sort of root yourself in your somatic body. I say that a lot, but the reality is, a lot of the deeper, I'd say, domains of dysregulation or fragmentation that we experience fundamentally is somatic, right? I speak of this again, like I speak a lot where I'm like saying, remember to root yourself in your somatic body, to honor your somatic body. But I really feel like, in the deepest realm of what we are experiencing, even as you are scrolling through these social media apps or hearing a vibration, it's all about what you feel in your nervous system, right? What is somatically associated. And I feel this is such a deeply entrenched thing. It's like, whether it's when we are breathing, when we are visualizing things, when we are sleeping, when we are feeling things in our body, when we're going throughout our day, the way our nervous system is responding. Fundamentally, it's very important simply to take time to just root yourself in your somatic body. Send your somatic body intentionality, send it love, send it an experience that's a visceral, felt experience that is calm, that is serene, that is full of love. And especially in times where you may not feel this way, your somatic body might be in a fight or flight or a adrenaline response. These are the most important times, just to breathe, to let yourself express and feel into your body. Very harrowing. And I feel music, fundamentally, like singing, playing music, hearing music. This is actually one of the most potent ways that we can connect to our somatic body, Like, this is the reality. Whether I find when I'm playing, the pan flute, or I'm playing the guitar, it's those moments when we find ourselves, maybe root ourselves in the mind, very intellectualized, or overthinking about what we are thinking or playing. But the reality is, it's important just to feel into how this feels when you're, say, engaging. You can learn a lot. It's very telling what you find arises when you are trying to express yourself, or when you're trying to engage in your somatic body. This particular amp setup, it like creates a level of resonance where you have to almost treat it like a gong, or like a sound instrument, where you can't play in a very specific way. Like if I were to unplug my guitar from this setup and just play, right? It's almost like all the little sounds, the little nuances aren't even very prevalent. I can get away with basically making specific errors, or maybe, filling in the blanks of how I play with sort of tenacity, or like, which is beautiful. It's beautiful for that playing style. But what's so wild is when, with this amp setup, this level of resonance, it forces me to be very gentle, because it just sounds good. And if I actually play too quickly, or add too much, you can hear the overtones, they just go crazy, like they just build and then create this like sort of wave of resonance that sort of overseers the sound. Which is kind of cool, but it's very similar to like a tuning fork. And the tuning fork just like picks up on resonance. Or more like a sound healing bowl. preamp. Oh, no, my preamp's still good. That's weird. What happened? Thank you so much. That's so wild the way it's like the preamp, this tone where you can hear it, like it builds like a singing bowl, like genuinely, like it's kind of like the resonance pattern. It just picks up so much where it doesn't know how to slow down because it's just circulating. But it happens on the guitar. It's really bizarre, very bizarre. I'm not totally into music, but it feels like the thing you're playing goes into the background of the games and movies a lot. I mean, pretty much, bro. Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I play, I think my entire style right now that I'm playing especially is basically a meditative style that's based off of, yeah, like sound scores, movie scores and and soundscapes from video games. Because that's what I've been focusing. So that kind of makes sense. It's atmospheric. Like I can compose music and I do compose music, but this is more like I'm just channeling music per se. That's what I kind of call this. Is like this is a music channel. Like as in like a channel from another dimension or something like that. Post like a YouTube channel. I find it's very similar to essentially I've noticed I've been learning to compose, and basically I'm orchestrating music opposed to just kind of just like, yeah, playing a single song. At least I'm learning to sort of do that. For some reason, that's just what I like to perform. Like that's what I just really feel inspired by. Usually it's not as reverberated, but the reverberation is nice. With seeds as well. With seeds. Like a shaker. If you mean like a shaker, then yeah, no, I've never thought about that. That's a great idea. I don't know. I'm really open, to be perfectly honest. I think what I've noticed is I'm very organically drawn to ancient sounds, sounds of nature, you know. Yo, what's going on? Welcome. It's making some sounds. You know, even I could hear that right now. Like if I were just like playing this, go like kind of like what Porengi does. It would definitely add a very interesting dimension. You know, I actually have a kalimba. It's out of tune, I think, right now. Well, I think I put it in tune recently. But yeah. I haven't played this thing in like weeks. I don't know if you can hear that, but I just love this instrument so much. And then it's just like it's just like so like video game or like child sort of animation slash anime slash movie sound. I'm liking what's coming through so far. I think that for the kalimba, I gotta do a very specific key. That's great. Then I gotta like, such an interesting, and what I find interesting with the kalimba is actually for this kalimba, see it's a sound hole in it. You can basically, maybe you can't hear very well, but it's like you can basically strike the notes and then use this movement. Like, actually, can you kind of hear it? You can make it like wiggle, like do like full on vibratos. It's such an interesting sound effect. Let's see if I can somehow integrate this. Gotta somehow just like bounce. And then keep it somewhere here where it's not in the way. Like right here. not bad. I'm really loving this pan flute flow. Yeah, thank you. It actually felt good. Usually I'm just kind of like think like I can't integrate this drum that well. I mean I can, but it's not like doesn't sound. I guess I got rhythm right now, like good rhythm, like really good rhythm. And I can do like multiple dimensions. That's in a different key. It's crazy. So I want to say thank you so much for chiming in, all of you that have so far. Violin sounds. It's slow. Thank you, or thank you. Yeah, it sounds. I think it sounds pretty good too. It's a good dynamic. I think the extended reverb really brings it together. Like it really just like almost like this particular type of reverb seems to like somehow complement the gaps between the instrument. Welcome to this live stream. Good stuff. So cool. Very nice. All right, I think at the 60-minute mark, I'm gonna take a break. 7:22. It's so early. It's so awesome. Remember to return to the center of love. Exactly. That's the key, I think. That's the idea, is like, I find I really like pauses in music, like whether it's piano or like guitar or just like something about those like stretches. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how, because I think what I'm really curious to use the loop station for is very much using these kind of like vocal harmonies, and then also the vocal harmonies matching, say, the pan flute, and creating like pan flute harmonies on top of vocal harmonies. Because it's like, I find for a lot of music, I love to play it live, like the improv. I really love to just layer it as much as I humanly possibly can. But for some reason, vocals and pan flute harmonies, I feel loop stations would beautifully. Yeah. That was cool. I was pretty exhausted tonight, in a sense. But I was just like, man, I just want to play guitar. So I'm glad this unraveled so beautifully. Amazing. Imagine I'm gonna take a short break. Either hop back on YouTube or hop onto TikTok to do some sort of things. Yeah. For any users watching or viewers, yeah, feel free to find me on TikTok if you desire to do a collaborative stream. I'm putting that intention out there. Not sure when it's gonna happen, but if one is in the mood, if it resonates and they just want to hop on a stream and do like a duo video stream, if they're a creator or something, then I'm super down. It'll happen eventually. I'm just putting that intention out there. Let's go. Amazing. All right. Things to put a close to the stream for now. Thank you so much for chiming in. Deeply appreciate the support and love. Sending lots of love and blessings from Canada, BC. Yes. If you like this comment or this content, feel free to follow this channel. I create music, I do lots of improv, lots of streams, and I teach people guitar. If you have any content ideas you'd like to reach out, feel free. No, that's fair, that's fair. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. As always, it's been a pleasure to create this portal here to play some music. Yes. Much love. Bless. Ashe.